What's the state of your website? If you're looking for a new digital experience platform, or DXP, to run your digital experiences, I have the book for you. The Agile Brand Guide to Digital Experience Platforms is part of my best-selling series of MarTech books. In this book, I explore and demystify DXPs and look at the roles a digital experience platform should play, the different types on the market, as well as how to initially evaluate platforms, then how to best implement a DXP once you've selected it. The book also features a foreword from Rupali Jain, Chief Product Officer at leading DXP provider Optimizely, as well as several other thought leaders in the industry. Learn more and get a copy in print or digital now by going to the Agile Brand Guide website at www.agilebrandguide.com.
Hi, this is Greg. Look for my book, The Agile Brand, on Amazon or on my website at theagile.world. Welcome back to the Agile World podcast. This is Greg Kihlstrom. In the last couple episodes, I've talked about what makes a successful brand. I started by talking about substance and how that makes brands more relevant and meaningful to consumers. In the last episode, I talked about how a brand's focus can not only attract a very specific type of customer, but also other customers aspiring to either have the experience or the lifestyle that those target customers have. In this episode, I'm going to talk about relevance. In order for a brand to be successful over time, it needs to remain relevant. And this means in an increasingly changing environment, brands need to find ways to reach not only new audiences, but stay memorable with existing audiences. One example that I often use of this is Lego. I grew up, let's just say in the late 70s, early 80s, playing with Legos, and there were very generic kits that you would get, spacemen and so on and so forth. And these days, there's everything from Star Wars to Harry Potter to you name it. They've even created their own custom brands as well. But the thing about Lego is that, it was founded, I think, in the late 30s and has found this way to remain relevant over the years by embracing not only different brand lines and consumer lines and things like that, but also other types of media. They've been successful in movies, they've been successful in video games, all sorts of ways where simply playing with blocks and building things might not have been enough to stay relevant over the years. They were also able to keep engaging people like me who might have outgrown Legos as a child, but a sci-fi nerd that I am, still fascinated by things like Star Wars and stuff like that. So, we're able to re-engage people that might have thought they outgrew Legos in the first place, but got re-engaged through them adopting brands and all of that. By moving into movies, by moving into video games, again, they transcended a physical medium and adopted a more digital medium. And that obviously attracts new audiences. It attracts younger generations who are using those digital mediums much more frequently, much more often. The other part of relevance is being socially relevant with your audiences. And sometimes audiences shift their preferences. Sometimes audiences, like in the case of Lego, may outgrow using the product, but maintaining some kind of consistency with what values an audience has can go a long way. This is where product preferences or the way that you access a product or service may change. Before the advent of the web, the world was a different place. Marketing was different. Buying things online didn't even exist. So purchasing things was completely different. So maintaining that relevance, understanding that your brand needs to not only be relevant today, but be able to be transformed into other mediums. It needs to be adopted by future generations that may have different values or place different values on convenience or pricing or things like that. That will help you be relevant over time. Thanks for listening. See you next week. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please rate the show on iTunes or contact me through my website at theagile.world. You can find my books, The Agile Brand and The Agile Web, on Amazon and on my website at theagile.world.